Today I'm going to talk about one of the ancient churches of Mavelikkara Orthodox Church, Puthiyakavu Palli. Puthiyakavu Palli is in Mavelikkara. This was established in AD 943. So, as was the custom in ancient times, most of the churches were named under the patronage of Saint Mary, the Mother of Jesus, or Saint Thomas. So, this church was named under Saint Mary, and therefore it's called as the Saint Mary's Orthodox Cathedral. It's in Puthiyakavu. So, St. Mary's Orthodox Cathedral, as you can see the map here, it is located in the southern part of Alapi district in the Mavelikkara Pandalam route. So the church was initially established in AD 943, which is more than 1,000 years old. And it was initially known as the Kadishata Palli. And in 1989, the church was elevated as a cathedral by the then Baba, His Holiness Basilius Marthoma Matthews I. So going into the history of the Puthiyakavu Palli. So Mavellikara during the ancient times was a center for trade and for agricultural business. So during that time, the Nasranis of Mavelikkara, they used to attend the services in Kayamkulam in the Kadisha Palli. But they used to find it difficult to reach the Kayamkulam parish. So they approached the Kayamkulam king and, to build a church. And so a church was built in Kandiur in AD 943. So the Mavellikara king then felt that the Nasranis were favoring the Mavellikara king, and who was also called as the Madankur king, and so he burned the Kandiur church. The Nasranis then approached the Mavellikara king, and the king built a big church in the present location where the Puthiyakavu Palli is located. So one of the big features in this slide is the two the stone pillars. I cannot show it, but then on the northwestern part to the leftmost, there are two stone pillars, and those stone pillars was salvaged as a relic from when the Kandiur church was burned. And that two stone pillars have been used in the architecture of the present day church. It still exists today. It is a unique feature of this church. So now going into some views of the church from different angles. So this is an aerial view. As you can see, the center position is where the church is located. To the left corner, bottom corner is where the office is located, and the right bottom corner is the Sunday school. On the top left corner is where the stage has been set up, and on the left side is the cemetery, and all that greenery that you see over there, that is where the paddy fields are. So it's located right in the town of Mavellikara. So that is how it looks aerially. And this is the view of the inside of the church. As you can see, there are three thronos there. And this is the side view of the church. This is the view from the Kurishamud. So as you can see, it is named Puthiyakavu Palli. Even though the church name is St. Mary's Orthodox Cathedral, it's fondly known as Puthiyakavu Palli. This is a view of the front door entrance of the church. So here is a picture of the church as it went through the various years. And these are the, so the leftmost that you see is a picture that was taken in 1943 or before 1978, the old church. And in 1978, the church was newly constructed, and in 2010, it was renovated. So these are the different pictures of the church over the years. Now, going to the history timeline of the church. So, as I mentioned earlier, the church was established in AD 943. A significant event that occurred in the Puthiyakavu Palli is the Synod of Mavellikara, which I'll be talking about in the next slide. This was in 1836, and the 1,000 years of the church was celebrated. It's called Sahasrabdi. It was celebrated in 1943. The consecration of the church, which was reconstructed, was done in 1978. In 89, it was declared as a cathedral, and the consecration of the renovated church was in 2010. So these are some of the dates that are in the records that I was able to obtain. And so coming to the Synod of Mavellikara. So this was an important event that happened in the St. Mary's Church in Puthiyakavu in 1836. So a small history about it. So the Anglican missionaries, the CMS, the Church Missionary Society missionaries, had come to Kerala in 1816, and they started their work, and they were very instrumental in printing and publishing the Malayalam Bible. They had a deep respect for the Orthodox beliefs, but over the course of time, they tried to bring the Malankara Sabha in line with their beliefs. So Tirumeni during that time, Dionysius, Mar Dionysius IV, he was not in favor of this, and he called a synod of Mavellikara. And during the synod, it was unanimously accepted that these reforms will not be followed by the church. And so this resolution is, or Padiola, is called as the Mavellikara Padiola. And this is an event, a big event that happened in the Malankara church. So some other important events of the church is the Parimala Tirumeni used to visit this church often, and he used to address the believers and conduct services. He laid hands on parish members and appointed them as missionary workers of the church. Vattascheril Tirumeni, St. Geevarghese Mar Dionysius, he also used to visit the church regularly to edify the believers. So another notable event is in 1985, Baba Tirumeni was consecrated as the bishop in St. Mary's Church at Puthiyakavu. And Baba Tirumeni Basilios Marthoma Paulos II, he was ordained as the bishop in this church. Another event is that the Orma Perinal of the Patriarch of Antioch, Ahatullah Baba, is celebrated on the Malayalam calendar, Magara Masam, 2nd and 3rd. Also the Orma Perinal of Saint Mary on August 15th and September 8th is also celebrated. Some of the highlights of this church. So every day, Holy Kurbana is celebrated here. And on Wednesdays, there is an intercessory prayer for Saint Mary. And many people far and near come to this church, and many of their wishes are granted, and many have been healed from sickness. There are more than 2,000 family members in this church. The church has 6 chapels, 17 prayer groups, 8 MMBS, 7 Sunday school, 8 youth movements. So some of the notable activities of the Cathedral's Charitable Society is that they provide food for the sick at the Mavellikara Government Hospital. Every week, there is a free medical camp for the sick. Monetary help is given to the sick and poor in the St. Mary's Cathedral Public School. is also a project of this society. So, in terms of the religious harmony, in Mavellikara, this is a symbol. The church's association with the other religion is to be specially noted, especially during our rasa, our religious procession. The Mavellikara Devi Temple authorities, they welcome our rasa, and the Puthiyakavu Palli, in reciprocation, they welcome the Devi temple whenever they come for the Ulsava Idirilpu. So, yeah, and we are proud to be part of, proud and happy to be part of this church.
Okay, so thank you, Achin, for giving us this opportunity. Actually, this is a great initiative. I would actually appreciate this idea whoever came up with. This is just awesome. I mean, the best part is I never knew the church have gone for almost 15 years. I mean, I didn't know it was founded in 943. I mean, every day I walk, I mean, whenever I used to go to church, it was right up there. I didn't notice that. I just noticed that through the images that I was Googling the other day. So this is awesome and great initiative. And I don't know, from my grandfather, we have been members of this church for so many years. And another one, there's a political side too, like where Rajiv Gandhi once visited this church, I think in 1984, for the funeral of the then Union Minister, CM Stephen, who was actually, I think, part of the Indira Gandhi government. So there's some notable facts about this church. And I think I don't think there's any miracle as such recorded, because we tried a lot Googling it, and we talked to our relatives. I mean, our relative grandfathers and all who were there. I mean, they said that there are like miracles, but then nothing has been recorded anywhere. So yeah, I mean, just final one more time, like thanks a lot for giving us this opportunity, Achin.